All right, layout update. Lots kind of been done. Just got home last week. I can't remember what the last update was, but a few more things have been procured and secured. Um, got some new cars and new buildings and work done. I've got ballast laid throughout the yard. That's all taken care of. I think I mentioned that I did this non-prototypical track here, but I wanted more track. Got to secure this down. It's up, so I got to secure that. Did a tiny bit amount of weathering. I don't know if you're really going to notice it too much, but I did a little bit of weathering on that building. Probably needs more. I was going to try to countersink this because I like the Menards buildings because they're easy, they're there. I don't like the fact that they require a plug of their own. But I did try to countersink, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to be able to get it perfect. So it's just going to have a raised curb like that. I'll get it secured in the right area. I've got a little bit more grass to put back here. You can kind of see the lines here. I'll have the drive-through kind of loop around here. I was going to have this farther out, but I just didn't like that, so I'll stick it right around there. Have a little parking lot. May try to find another building for there. I'm not sure. I know I found a kit. It's like a power transfer station. Let's see if I can't fit one in here. But I got this done, and I ended up messing up. I tried some static grass, and it actually looks better than it did. This I'm noticing on camera is really bright. Static grass actually takes a lot more skill than I thought it would. So, kind of screwed up there, but it is what it is. Got back here. I need to put a little bit more grass in here. It's a little thin in spots. But I got little tufts and everything. Figured this is nice. This is I think it's a signal control building or something like that. Came with a little antenna. Well, I guess it wouldn't be little to scale, but I figured that's cool because I didn't know what to do with this dead end road, and then once it was down, it was down. So that fit perfectly. It's good. I've got switches. One thing I wish I would have done differently is reverse these switches so that way it goes this way instead of this way. That would have made this track actually useful. It could have been used as a siding. I think my original plan was to make it useful as a siding. Now it's kind of like I can bring one car and this one here, this switch here, it's missing the center. And I didn't care because I wasn't really going to use this track. This track is more just for scenery. So got some trees. Got some people there on the lake. I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. Got some people out on the lake. Don't mind this leaching. There we go. I put some of the leaching on the mountain. I might do the whole thing. I don't know. I really don't like the way it looks, but it looked better than, or I wanted it to look better than what it did. Got some trees. Got myself a little stealth because I actually picked one up in real life. So I got a 93 RT. Not the turbo, but so I was at the Hobby Lobby and I found that and I'm like, well, that's got to go on there. So now there's a stealth on the layout. So we come back over here. I had my junk cars. I think I showed that in the last video. So I was like, I need to put an old abandoned house or something. So I was at a Hobby Town. Haha, love that store. I was at a Hobby Town on Saturday in Indianapolis. And I found a lot of stuff. And this was one of them. So it came with the house, the tire planter, mailbox, and nothing over here. That was the original kit. An outhouse, and then a couple of barrels and a little gack there. So I've got the somewhat dilapidated, possibly abandoned, possibly not. It does have the LED light inside, but I don't know if I'll end up hooking that up or not. I filled in what I wanted to make a ditch, but looked absolutely atrocious. Filled that in with some stone. Gotta do a little bit more, but I don't know what it would be considered, but I think it actually looks better with the stone in there than it did a giant hole. One thing I will say is when I do a full build in a room, I won't use this fine ballast. I don't like it. It's too small. Good for end scale. It's good for, for dirt lots like that. That's fine. The dirt driveway over there. I like it for that, but I don't like it to ballast. I think it's a little too small. Visually, it's not bad, but it's just, for me, I think it's a little harder to work with. So I'll go for regular ballast next time. As for new rolling equipment, I got this Boxcar. Got that one. And I got this nifty little switcher. It needs a little bit of maintenance. I tried doing a little bit. It runs a little bit better, but I think it could ultimately stand to get a little bit more. Had that dummy back there. Had the powered 3114 and the dummy 5450. Got all these since the last time. Well, not the Canada. The Canada, I've had that for a long time. This one with the dog hair in it is cool. Of course, the doors do slide. But it's got the end of train device that will flash. I've got this weathered guy here with the I didn't know this, but the safety stickers, they actually do reflect. I don't think I mentioned this when I got this as well. The only reason I don't have it hooked up to this consist is because they put in high mounted Katy couplers, so it doesn't connect with anything. It barely does, and if I start pulling, then it just slips out. So one thing I did learn is I put on a bunch of couplers. I think this is one of them. Maybe not. I did put on a bunch of knockoff. Well, I guess Katy is just the name brand, but put a bunch of knockoffs on a bunch of cars, including this Canada one, and I find that they decouple and actually cause cars to derail. So if you're on eBay and you see, I think it's like 12 of them for like 20 bucks or something, don't get it. It was really cheap. Don't get it. It doesn't have the whiskers. I mean, if you get the whiskers, and maybe you can make them work, but to me, they turned out to not be worth it. And I put them on a bunch of cars. And I regret that now. So as time goes by, I'll upgrade everything to Katy couplers and, get everything done. So anyways, I got this one. Got these two from, these three from, including that, from eBay. That one I got from eBay as well. This one here I just picked up at the Hobby Town in Indianapolis. Love that car. Like I said, I've had that one for a while. Got this one off eBay, Montana Rail Link. Love that car. It needs a little bit of oil on the wheels. It squeaks a bit. CP Rail and this BNSF I just picked up from Hobby Town as well. So I think that's pretty much all for the new stuff. There's a couple of problems with the tracks. I do like how I've buried the end of this track. Can't remember if I've mentioned it on the earlier videos. From here to there was a segment of track, and it was just so corroded and oxidized, and it was absolutely going to be no use anymore. And I saw a video that somebody had buried and made it look like it was an abandoned line, and I'm like, well, I could probably do that too. So yeah, I did that, kind of built it up a little bit, and I thought the static grass would be the cat's knees, and like I said, that didn't turn out too well, so it is what it is. I also got this car here, I forgot. Another Burlington Northern, of course it's not going to focus, but Burlington Northern Boxcar. This one has the old horn. I don't think it's on the track quite right. But yeah, so that's pretty much the layout. Like I said, there's a couple of problem areas. When I get a train going around this corner here, it's almost like it all of a sudden pulls uphill. And I'm not sure if it's just because it's pulling around the corner, around both of them. But I think there is a slight, and it could just be the table, the floor, it could be anything, but I don't know. And then back here, there's a segment of track, I think it's right here, right around this joint here, that there's almost like a hair of a dead spot. And I don't know if there's something on the track. I've tried cleaning it. It seems like it's gotten better. I don't know. And then every once in a while around here, I've had a dead spot. And I've noticed this spot was more after I've laid down the adhesives and the spray adhesives and everything. So I think it might just be a little overspray that I need to really scrape off. But beyond that, everything else works. I am having problems in the yard with the switches, but again, I think it is because of the couplers, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get in there and really see, especially considering this one's hooked up. But you can kind of see how on the Canada one, first of all, it's sitting lower, so, but the little horn there, it sits actually underneath the track. So when it goes over, you know, over these here, it gets caught on these, and then it pushes the car up. So I think that's really what the problem with my derailing is just that. I've got to work some of these, because again, you know, my first one, well, this one actually works all right. That one works. As I've worked them, they've gotten better. Yeah, those are all good. Those are all brand new. I replaced the originals because they weren't working out too well. But this one under the train here, this one here is a little finicky. I got to do a little bit of cleaning to it, but beyond that, it's turned out pretty well. Not bad for my first time. So let's see if we can get this thing going. There's a dead spot here too for some reason, right there. Only when I'm starting this locomotive, and I don't know why. But she normally has a pretty good slow speed, so. See right there, there's a little bit of a hiccup where it has a hard time. And that's with any of the locomotives, so it isn't this one specifically. And then again, once it gets behind right there, has a little bit of a dead spot. Beyond that, everything seems to work out pretty well. Right now the throttle is just at 30. It runs nice and smooth. I love this locomotive. And as this goes and passes, we got the end of train device. So that's cool. I like that. But I had this locomotive up to the 100 on the throttle, and ended up derailing the Union Pacific High car. But I mean, it's got a pretty impressive slow speed too. She's still kind of creeping, pulling cars around the corner. That's down to about 510. So that's not bad. She does pretty good when it comes to yard moves. And that CP rail, I saw that. I was like, I gotta have that. Rail link. I was like, that was a good looking car. Canada one, like I said, I've had that for a long time. The UP was another, and I was like, you know what? I've never bought actual cars from the store, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now. And then the weathered ones, man, I love them. They look so great, and they're gonna look great on the full build, because I'd like to get that one built when I get the room. Right now it's full of all my light bars. But yeah, I mean, it's the weathered ones, like that covered hopper there, man, I wish that one, I gotta get those couplers quick, because I want to get that one rolling with the consist. Of course, there's the dog. Don't mind her. She's just seeing what's going on. So we'll get her stopped up here for the road. There we go. And I got crossings I need to get wired in and everything. They're not secured, they're just there. So anyways, that is, and this thing here, this is a lifesaver right here. It's a decoupling device. It's got two different ends. I don't know if it's going to focus, but it's got like a little pick like that, and then it's got a really pointy little pick. It gets right up in there and makes life a lot easier. So anyways, I'm going to end this video like this. I'm going to do some more work. I'm going to do some painting, get the gray down for the parking lot here. Going to put the parking lot in this section here. I want to find another building, maybe a house, maybe something. to put there. Maybe like a little corner store or something, convenience store. Something that you'd find around a lake, you know. I don't know. And then I'll ballast around here. Do, I don't know, maybe I'll just use ballast and make like an aggregate driveway for them. And then not sure exactly what I'm going to do here, so I'll leave that for now. But yeah, I mean, it's getting pretty close. So I got to do a little touch up here. Vacuumed up just a little bit ago. And see where I didn't get any of the grass actually to stick. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. I know I do. I enjoy this little layout. I can sit here every morning. I sit there and drink my coffee. I'll have the trains in the yard, and I'll go ahead and I'll pull out. That's where this car came from. It was this morning in the yard, and I did a little switch with the BNSF, and originally I wanted to keep this just Burlington Northern, but then, you know, Burlington Northern and Santa Fe, I got a Santa Fe engine. I'm like, all right, well, technically, you know, there was a period in time where you would have seen them running in a consist, and then BNSF, and I'm like, I'm really starting to like BNSF's colors. So I think I'm going to go for that time period where BN and BNSF, they all conglomerated and, you know, became BNSF. So, yeah. All right, that ends this video. Thank you.